Is a civil war coming at Williams? And can Frank Williams stop that from happening? Ferrari have been given the all clear from the FIA. The Ferrari's cars have been deemed legal. Audi have announced their intention to buy Minardi, starting officially from 1992. Mazda says, I believe there was a lot of promise in Williams. Adrian had designed a remarkable car, but reliability has been weak. I mean, the car has pace and is seen by a fact an amateur can put it on pole. Scathing words there from the Brit. We have an entire season. Once all the kinks are worked out, I'm sure we'll be consistent podiums as long as the amateur remembers his place. Now you see, this is what Frank Williams wanted to avoid. Mansell clearly not happy with being outperformed by his younger, less experienced teammate. But we'll have to see. Frank Williams has released a statement saying we clearly have two drivers who are very capable, so we need to make sure we keep them in order. Both have every opportunity to go for race wins and possibly a championship, but is that possible if they're trying to tear each other apart? Game replied, I heard him call me an amateur, he's allowed his own opinion. However, if he wants to be careful with what he's saying. He claimed he was saving the car in Brazil, but his data didn't suggest that. Now that is very low from Game, suggesting that Mansell was just slow, but we'll have to see. In more positive news, Ferrari have been cleared by the FIA. Ferrari did conduct tests after Brazil and found the Ferrari had complied with all its rules and regulations and will not be suffering any punishment or any penalty. Ferrari were pleased to get this resolved quickly and hopes they can progress in the season. Audi have confirmed the Formula 1 bid, and they have plans to purchase Minardi and start the Audi Works team. They've officially announced, and they look to begin work straight away. And I think it's a very positive move for the German manufacturer and for the sport itself. A spokesman has said they are actively looking in the driver market. The team wants to be competitive as soon as possible, and they believe a good driver lineup is the start of that. Join us next time for the news roundup. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. There has been a long gap, I aware of that. I'm trying, alright? It's difficult. The stresses and strains of modern life. However, we are back with the San Marino Grand Prix, round 3 of the 1991 season, and we are sure in for a banger. So let's have a look at the grid then, and a fantastic day for the young German who put on pole position with a fantastic lap out of nowhere. Game in the Williams has put it on second place. Gerhard Berger in his McLaren is third, with Jean Alesi just behind him in fourth in the all-cleared Ferrari. Ayrton Senna down in 5th place. Can't seem to get used to this car, but Prost in 6th place. Mansell down in 7th place. Still doesn't have the pace of his teammate, despite him being the more experienced driver. 8th is Pierluigi Martini. Nannini is in 9th place. Patrese down in 10th. Morbidelli 11th, with Bertrand Gachot in 12th in the second Jordan. Mark Blundell is down in 13th place with his teammate just behind him of Martin Brundle. Guglielmin, I think, is in 15th with Ivan Capelli, his teammate, just behind him. Boutsen 17th. Comas is 18th. Mika Hakkinen down in 19th place in his Lotus, just in front of his teammate Johnny Herbert in 20th place. Kaffi is 21st, and Michele Alboreto is in 22nd. Right, we're on the grid now, and it's gonna be hectic. I'm expecting we've got more pace in every aspect than that Jordan, so we should be looking to get straight past him off the line, and that's a poor start from us, and we're away. And we are away, but we've been swallowed up by Gerhard Berger and Jean Alesi off the line, but we're going to use the slipstream of the McLaren Honda of Gerhard Berger as we sweep down through Tamburello into turns 2 and 3, and we've cleared the Jordan, who has not got as much power as the two cars that he is fighting. Break, and he's going to try and move on Gerhard Berger into the hairpin, and he did have to bail out, but he's got to hit him with the old switchback, and they climb up the small hill, and then Berger leads with Game second. Schumacher is continuing third, but Jean Alesi's all over the back of him with Ayrton Senna in 5th place behind him. And is that Alesi going off the track? There is not. It looked like it wasn't. Game dives to the inside. Oh, and Berger cuts him up. Absolutely fantastic driving for the pair of them. They do not touch. Absolutely fantastic. Not bad for an amateur. Not bad for an amateur. But they continue down into the chicane. A little bit of a gap was formed here, so I don't think... But Berger looks slow. Berger looks slow out of the chicane. A little bit of an error. But is Game going to have a good enough run as they head towards the final few corners of the track? And is he going to make a move? And he's going to dive. And he is going to dive up the inside. And he leads the San Marino Grand Prix of 1991. Williams ahead now of the McLaren. And actually, it's a great start. Obviously, we're only 2/10 ahead of Gerhard Berger now, and he does have some tremendous straight line speed, but we did knock a lot of wing off for this, and I think that's where we're gaining a lot of our time on this, especially in qualifying. I have no idea where the Jordans of Michael Schumacher's lap time came from, but absolutely fantastic. But we do lead, and here is Michael Schumacher, and Alesi's run wide. Alesi, has he spun? Has he spun in the background? He has. That's promoted Ayrton Senna up into 4th place. Where is Alesi? He's managed to recover well, and he looks like he's just dropped behind Alain Prost, his teammate. But as we look at Alesi there, I'm not sure what he was trying there. There was never an overtaking opportunity. Mansell unable to get past him. He's touched. He managed to keep his front wing, but he's touched the back of Jean Alesi. And we continue on our way. Alesi down in 5th place. Ooh, now that could have been interesting. But we are back. Schumacher's still defending with his life. He's got the mighty Ayrton Senna behind him. And he was... Oh, I thought he was going to try and move there. And Schumacher's run wide. And Senna, is he going to capitalise into the Mickey Mouse twisty section in the middle of this track? And he does not. He is defending absolutely fantastically. We can't do that for the whole race. And that has allowed the Williams and McLaren of Game and Mansell to stretch away, and is Senna going to go up the inside? Is he going to get a move done? They've touched. They bang wheels. Schumacher not taking anything from Ayrton Senna, and that is fantastic from the young German as they come down the hill. Surely there has to be some give now. That McLaren Honda, surely he's going to breeze past him on the main straight, you would think. Because obviously we know that 7-Up Jordan has got the Ford engine in the back, but he's not nearly as powerful as the Honda that Senna has in the back of his McLaren. And they're at the final corner, and Senna gets a great run. Technically didn't take the final chicane right, but we ignore that. And Senna has a great run. Is he going to switch to the outside? Schumacher has covered it off, and that's allowed Alain Prost to be right on the gearbox of the McLaren and the Jordan. Is Alain Prost going to be able to take 2 spots here? And Senna's going to try and move. And oh, that could have been an absolute plane crash if they had collided there. And Schumacher keeps himself in the podium spot of 3rd place. But surely it's just a matter of time before Senna dives to the inside and puts Schumacher out, and Schumacher hits the wall. Oh, did they touch? I'm pretty certain they touched. Schumacher is out of the San Marino Grand Prix from pole position to DNF in just 3 laps. And his retirement is actually in fact helping his teammate Bertrand Gachot there. Ever the optimist. But did they touch? It looked like Senna had pushed him up wide. We're going to have a see here on board with the Brazilian. And he dives to the inside. And they didn't nowhere near touching. It just looked like Schumacher even ran wide. Was a little bit too generous with his space. And Michael Schumacher is out, and Senna is up into 3rd place. And Jean Alesi does well to avoid the spinning Jordan. But that is the first retirement of this Grand Prix. And it is interesting. We have absolutely put the hammer down. 2.7 seconds we lead on Gerhard Berger. We're trying to get the gap. We know we have to make at least 1 pit stop. So does everyone else. It would be interesting. Gerhard Berger is incredibly quick around the pit stop phase. So we are getting the hammer down. 3.6. We are flying today. But we're looking at Eric Comas here with Johnny Herbert just in front of it. Oh, that looks incredibly dangerous from Eric Comas. Did he get his braking point all mixed up? or was something more at play? But it looks as though Johnny Herbert has made his brake failure. That is, there's nothing he could have done about that. He's taken himself and Johnny Herbert out, but you put your foot on the brake and nothing happens. There is not a lot you can do. But we are back at ourselves here. 3.8 seconds. We seem to be mighty in these sort of corners, the tight, the twisty ones. That is, the car is incredible through here. 3.6, back to Gerhard Berger. And we're on lap 4 now, and we are really, really setting a mark on this Grand Prix. And here we look at the two Ferraris. Mansell's starting to drift back from these two now. And Alesi has, he's caught his teammate Alain Prost, the 3-time world champion. Alain Prost, and Alesi's going to sweep past with a mistake from Alain Prost. That is not something we often say. A mistake from Alain Prost has gifted Jean Alesi 4th place, and quite frankly this season Jean Alesi had, I know despite Alain Prost having the win in Brazil, it's looked incredibly likely that it will be Alesi that will be the one to challenge for the World Championship, but there is a lot of time left. But the classification is as follows. Game leads with Gerhard Berger nearly just 4 seconds back as he touches the curb on the inside. Then there is quite a bit of gap. Schumacher held up everyone for laps, which has put Senna 10 seconds behind his teammate. Alesi now ahead of Alain Prost, with Nigel Mansell in 6th place, taking up the final points paying position. And we are flying now. And Game comes into the pits. Game has pitted into the pits. Get on your marks. Make sure he's coming in for fuel and tyres, and he's up on the jacks. Gerhard Berger now takes the lead of this Grand Prix, and that is Nigel Mansell. Nigel Mansell has swept past. Is he going to make it easy for his new teammate? I very, very, very much doubt that. The red number 5 on the Williams of Nigel Mansell with the 6 on Game, and Game is just going to dive to the inside, and Nigel Mansell gives him no room and sweeps round the outside. Oh, this is not going to go down well in the Williams garage later on. And they climb the hill, and I reckon Frank Williams and the Williams team are seething about this, and Mansell makes a little bit of an error, goes off track. We're riding with Game now. So we've got Mansell in front of us. And he's purposely going slow in this section. I feel like he's holding us up on purpose. Oh, this is not going to... This is foul. And he still can't get through. Berger's continued for another lap, seeming likely to be pitting on this lap, but he is going round once more times. Clearly saved a lot of fuel. Maybe that's why he was so much slower in the first stint, but this could cost us the race win here. We've lost a bit of time now because he proper puts on the wrong foot, but of course straight back up. We always plough into the back of Nigel Mansell. We are all over the back of him. This could cost us the lead. We have lost so much time here as we climb the hill. Mansell is holding us up. There is no love lost between these two, and we're only 3 rounds in. But here's Berger. He dives to pit lane, and a good stop could see him lead the San Marino Grand Prix. And this, we're going back live with Game, and he dives up to the inside. Finally gets past his teammate of Nigel Mansell. He throws the hand up in disarray as he goes past his British compatriot, and I would be very surprised if that's not the last time we hear about that. But this could be interesting as they're out of the final corner, and Berger is coming down the pits, and he drives out and leads the San Marino Grand Prix. And Nigel Mansell has cost, but the momentum of Game has swept him to the inside, and he leads the San Marino Grand Prix straight back from Gerhard Berger. But if he had not got past Mansell, Berger would be driving off into the sunset. But Game leads the San Marino Grand Prix once again. But has Berger got an answer for him in this second stint? We will have to see. Nearly cost by his teammate. But anyway, we are several laps later. It started to calm down massively. 2.3 seconds we've climbed the gap up. But we've climbed that up fairly quickly. It's kind of just stayed like that. We've been monitoring it fairly closely, and it's between around 2 seconds. But we look at Ayrton Senna, who is slowly being caught by Jean Alesi He seems to have dropped pace in the last couple. He's diving to the pits. Is that Senna retiring from the Grand Prix? Oh, what rotten luck he's had in the last... Yeah, out of the Grand Prix. Senna retires. And he has had rotten luck over the last 14, 15 months. But we are looking at the Benetton team. Now, this is the last time they will use this car. They are coming with a massive, massive upgrade for the Monaco Grand Prix. A strange place to bring the upgrade, but they said they wanted to get it the moment it was done. I hoped it would be ready for San Marino, but it wasn't. So yes, we should be met possibly, if all goes well, a Benetton right up the front with Nannini and Patrese. But we have got a couple of corners to navigate. He won last year at Monaco in the Lotus, but he was very fortunate. He is rounding the final few corners now, and he will take his first Grand Prix victory for the Williams team. And I don't reckon that was in the script when they signed Senna at the start of the season. And he wins the San Marino Grand Prix. Berger less than a second behind him. But Williams take their first victory of the season against Game. It's not Mansell. It's not Nigel Mansell. And there we have it, the final classification for the San Marino Grand Prix. Game takes the victory just ahead of Gerhard Berger. Jean Alesi, despite his early spin, comes back to finish in third place ahead of his teammate Alain Prost. Mansell jumping up a position for Senna's retirement puts him in P5 for 2 points. Nannini and Patrese in 6th and 7th. That's a point for Benetton, though. We'll be pleased about that. Bertrand Gachot had a good race. Schumacher retired with Martini, Comas, Herbert, Senna out as well. A disappointing day for Mika Hakkinen there in the Lotus. A disappointing day all day round, but the championship standings was followed. Gerhard Berger takes a 4-point lead, whereas Game now level on points with Alain Prost. Alesi pulling himself back in despite a couple of difficult times. But there we have it. Join us next time for the Monaco Grand Prix. Bye bye.